Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm excited to show you my lighting setup. I've been wanting to make this video since I started YouTube because before I started, I was searching high and low for the best camera gear, the best lenses, the best microphones, the best lighting, and it all started to add up. I got the most important things first, which is the camera, obviously. I started out with the G7X, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, so I upgraded that. And I returned that. I only had that for about 30 days, and I upgraded to the Canon T7i. And the reason I like this camera is because it's a DSLR and you can change the lenses. And that's really the only thing that I wanted, just because I wanted different looks for like B-roll and things like that. But after that was sound and lighting. Luckily for me, I already had a microphone, but I will make a whole nother video about microphones because I've got a few now. But the main thing, even before the camera, because you can use your iPhone, is the lighting. And obviously the cheapest way is to just use your phone, prop it up, and open your window sometime early in the day, especially if you have an east-facing window where the sun is shining bright early in the morning, which I do, so I could use that as well. But I got lucky and figured out a few cool lighting hacks that I will show you if you're trying to save some money but still have the best look in your videos. The first one I want to talk about is the one that I've already talked about in this video, and that's just using the sun. If you look at my last video, the video from yesterday, I did a video outside, and I'm in Arizona and it was 113 at the time I made that video, but I sucked it up because the lighting looked amazing out there at the time. I had the trees behind me, I made the aesthetics look good, and I just feel like the sun, depending on the time, could be your perfect light, especially like golden hour. If you can face, if your window's facing west and you have that golden hour sun, then that's even more amazing. You can get that nice warm look in your videos. But you didn't click on this video for me to tell you to go use the sun for your light. You want to know the cheapest options. So the next thing is this little light here. Alright, so I backed it up a little bit for you. You can see the setup I have here. I usually have the main light that I use now that I will show you at the end of this video set up right here, just like this. Obviously it's not in the camera when I'm shooting my videos, but I'm doing it for the sake of this video to show you like kind of where I have it at, where I have it angled. But the first light I want to show you is this little light here. It's just something that I had lying around the house. It has an on and off switch back here, which is cool because this is a little touch. That's like you just touch it on, it's not a button or anything. So you just switch the on switch back here, and then you just press this here, and this light will turn right on, which is pretty cool. It's a little tiny skinny light. It's not very big. As you can see, it's as long as my face, which is nice because I usually, when I first started making videos, I was putting it, about right here, but obviously like where the camera couldn't see it. It was always about kind of like getting it in that angle where the camera couldn't see it, but it was still close enough. Let's just see the difference. Obviously it's going to be way worse, but this is the one I started out with. So I had to turn the ISO up a bit for you to like actually see this light, but as you can see, it does provide some light. And if you're shooting in more of a darker room to get that like, backlight look with the still shining on you, this is a really good light for that because it doesn't brighten you up too much. You have to turn your ISO up a little bit more, but it's really cool to like when I just need a little bit of light, because like I said, this is just a free, this is just to inspire you to use, the lights that are around your house, anything that you've got, because I've got a few other like LED things that I try to use. This is something that I had for camping, and you could set that up somewhere and have a nice little light. It's white, which is super cool. Going for like LED lights, it also dims a little bit too, which is nice. I sometimes use this hanging above me as like a hair light, but I often forget to set that up when I'm making videos. So yeah, it's basically, these were just things that I had from camping, and this was just a reading light that, it's kind of dying right now because I've been using it a lot for reading in the bathtub. But it was a great light to start when I didn't have anything. Right, back to the other light. So yeah, this was a great light to use when I didn't have anything. I went through a lot of things. I even put my smaller screen TV in front of me, and I had that, just a white screen from YouTube on, and I would use that sometimes, but I didn't really like having to do all that setup every single time. So I started to use this like little bendy light here, and it just wasn't bright enough for me, just because I wanted a little bit more of like I don't know, I just never like to quit until I'm happy with what I got. But if you don't have the money, don't spend the money, just use what you've got at your house. Lighting yourself closer is better than not lighting yourself at all. The secret basically is just to have a nice softer light close to you, and you can use like a lamp that you put like a sheet over. Just make sure that you don't like light your house on fire. LED lights are the best because they don't heat up as much. They only like radiate small amounts of heat, which is why this thing can be on this light here, which I'll explain to you in a sec. But the main thing is just getting a light in front of you, you know, something like this that will just brighten up your face a little bit while you can keep the background dark, or however you want it. It's just nice. It just makes the picture look a little bit nicer when you have a light shining right on your face as well. So let's move on. So the next light that I have is something that I wanted to create. I saw Daniel Schiffer make this on one of his videos, and I thought that was pretty cool. This was the second light rope that I had bought. The first one had advertised on there that you don't bunch it, like leave it bunched up because it'll heat up too much and cause a fire. So I found one that is like an inside-outside LED. You want a nice LED like light because they don't heat up as much. And I've had this one on for about an hour now, and I mean, it's got a little bit of heat, but not much. And it provides pretty decent light. I have this mask that I just put over it. I've done basically everything to find the perfect lighting, and before I found this thing, I cut up one of my favorite white shirts. I didn't wear it often, so that's how I justified it, but it was a $50 shirt that softened the light a little bit. But after finding this whiter sheet, I found that that was a little bit yellow, and it was kind of a waste of a good shirt. So I used this and I put it over the pan, and it's just a nice little light. Once again, I got lucky and I just had this laying around the house already. It's for computers. You put your computer on it and you can like DJ. You can have your like DJ equipment underneath it and everything. And I just happened to have this, and I connected it to this thing, and I just put rubber bands on it. Probably about 4 of them, but we'll just do 2 for now. So that it was more of like an angle at me, you know, and then I had my camera here, and you couldn't even see the light, but it did brighten me up a little bit. Turned up the ISO just 1 more. This one's a little bit brighter than the other one, and as you can see, it's a slight upgrade from the little light. I actually, when I just had these 2, I would use both of them, and I would put one on this side, obviously out of the screen, and one on that side, obviously out of the screen. So if you zoomed in a bit, you wouldn't even see, and you would just see that there's a little bit of a glow on me. As you can see, just this light alone is pretty good, and with it like zoomed in more on my face, you can't see the light, so I can make it come a little bit closer, so I have like a little bit more of a nicer glow. And if it looks like I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at myself in the screen, so I can see what you guys see. And so I would basically just put a little table in front of me, because remember, when filming, that your situations are never ideal. You have to make them a lot of times. Most of my videos I have to push my, my table back so that it looks like I'm right in front of my table, and that I'm not right against the wall, because if I put my camera against the wall, I would be super close just like this, and I like to have more showing in my video. But for simplicity, if you're just doing a talking head video or anything like that, just having some light on your face like this where you can't see it, you can move it back so it's not in camera frame. I even use this second one to light up my other half of my face, but if you don't want to, you can turn it off and have that like darker look on half your face, that shadowy look, it kind of like artsy. But this light was really cheap and easy to make. I already had the pan at home, so this light was super easy to make and super fun to make. It's just an LED strip that I left a little bit off so we can plug it in, obviously. I left it long so I can move it around. And it's kind of cool because this will kind of brighten up a little bit too. And then I just wrapped it around like really nicely in there so that it's not layered over itself. It's just like, in a row, and it was almost perfect besides this little length that I needed. Then I put the connection inside there, the little like end other piece, and I just taped it all down with like the, nicer Scotch tape type clear stuff so that I didn't like have blockages in those lights. And also like a better kind of tape so it didn't melt if it did get too hot. But after testing this out for like a month, I used this for like a few videos. It worked great and it never heated up. It was probably like 25 bucks for the LED strip. You want to pay a little bit more for it just so you get a better quality that doesn't heat up, and that's a nice like bright, cool light. Make sure it says cool on there and not warm, because that'll be more of like a yellow unless you're looking for that. The pan is probably like 10 bucks, but like I said, I had this here already, so I saved on that. And then this, I believe, was 50 bucks when I bought it, but I don't know, it could be like $30. You don't need this. You can obviously just like find a way to like prop this up somewhere, make a sticky back, stick it on your wall. I just had this and it just worked out perfectly, and it's a little heavy, so I liked it because it would just like stay here and way down and not move a lot, and then this would just be here in my face with the light really soft. And I was psyched on that, I was set on that, and that's what I was using for my lighting for a few videos. I want to say like 4 or 5 videos. I kept that as my lighting. It wasn't until I was like roaming around at Walmart. I always check out the lighting section at every single store. I go to the car lighting section to see if they have little square lights or anything like that that could just like brighten things up, and then you can diffuse them, or like tap on lights, things like that. I just like having lights. I have the ones that I showed you are pretty much the ones that I have, but I've just been collecting them because I just love having them. So I always go to the light section and see what they have, and I found this beauty here in the light section. No, it did not come with this diffuser box on there. I bought that separate, so I'm gonna take this off right now. So yeah, if you take it off, it's way bright obviously, but if you put it in the distance, it kind of just lights the whole room up, but it does give you a nice light, so you could use that as well. When I didn't have this diffuser box, I bought this first, and I didn't even think about the diffuser box. I just bought this and I really liked it because it has you know, no bulb in it, and it's really bright, and it's like mechanical looking, so I really liked that. All right, sorry for the yellowness. This is my main light for like shooting and stuff, so to show you it, I have to turn on the actual light in the room here. So as you can see, it's like mechanical, which is nice. It has little notches where you can like tighten them up and loosen them so that it turns on every little thing, on every little elbow or whatever. So you can like loosen this guy up and have him like turn all around while you keep this all straight, so you can have this like set in one spot. It's almost, you know, it was almost perfect, and it was just a little too bright. So as you can see, having it right here in my face, it's just so bright. So I actually used, I don't have the one I was using before, but I actually used a milk jug. I cut a square out of the back of it and I put it in front on just hanging on it, and it diffused it quite nice, and it made it more of like a cool bluey and like bluey white color instead of like a warm one, which was what I'm looking for because I can always change that in post. But I was set on this and I loved it. It was like my main light for a few videos as well. And I always pop into Best Buy just to see what they have, because I was trying to get, you know, this whole rig from there at one point, but they just were never in stock. I got the dead cat from there, but I ordered the mic on Amazon, which is a great mic. I will do a review on all that in another video. But I found this little diffuser box at Best Buy, and it came in this box, so I thought it was gonna be like super huge for some reason. I just didn't know how it could fold up, even though on the picture in the back it shows that it goes on top of a flash. So I didn't see that until after I bought it. I was just super stoked about it because I just wanted this like to see what it was. A lot of this was trial and error, and I would like buy things and return things. Like the G7X, I bought that and returned that, and then I bought this camera and I'm loving it. I bought a few different lights, didn't like them and returned those. Just kind of like these kind of like lamp lights, obviously. If you buy something professional that's meant for this, it's probably gonna work right away. It's just upwards of like, you know, a few $100 to like $1,000 sometimes for some of these. For something like this, you know, which is real simple. You obviously have more control if you have a better like lighting situation. So basically this is how it works. It's a little just lamp light that's pretty cool. So this is the diffuser box. I had to rip it a little bit because it would only fit on top of like a little like flash for a camera, and I saw that when after I bought it, and I knew that it was gonna be I knew I was gonna have to rip it, which I was okay with. It was only 20 bucks and I knew it was gonna work. There was a small chance that it wouldn't, but I figured it out. So I ripped it, and luckily, because I was gonna just use like Velcro I have around the house, but luckily it came with its own little like, you know, wrap around Velcro thing. So I just ripped it a bit to fit around here, and then at the smallest point I just put this around it and Velcro it up. Okay. and check it out. So that really softens up the light, and you know, it's nice because you can have it right here. It moves, which is really cool. Obviously this is just a little limp because I haven't tightened it yet, but once you like tighten it into place, it'll stay how you want and move how you want. It's got little springs, so it feels like really nice and just professional. It's like a small, like miniature, boom, just like that. It is really nice, soft light that doesn't bug me at all. It seems professional because it has this like box over the lamp, so it doesn't just look like a regular lamp. It's got all these like mechanical things, like I've said, where it feels professional. It kind of just stays in place. You could turn the head separately. So that way, you know, it's never really like in the way, and it does kind of whatever you want. I think it looks professional enough to where if you were doing like an interview or a podcast style thing with friends or something like that and you busted this out, I don't think anyone would even question it. When I first had this set up, I wanted to show my girlfriend, and I've been buying things off Amazon left and right, so there's always something new in this room. And she came in here and she was like, oh, I love this. How much did it cost? And I was like, oh, this little box thing only cost like 20 bucks. And she's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, this is the lamp we got from Walmart. And she was like super surprised because it looked really nice just where it was set up, and it always looks nice when I'm using it. It also has a little switch so that I can just switch it on and off, where my, you know, my pan light didn't have a switch. I had to plug it on and off, which is not that big of a deal. But bringing this to like an interview or something where you're trying to interview somebody or do a podcast would not look cool. You know, you'd have to tell them that you're on a budget or whatever, where this, you could just say it's literally for style videos like this, where it's, you know, you don't want to bring or lug around a big light. It will come apart obviously too because they're separate pieces. And all in all, that actually cost me 40 bucks. It was 20 bucks for the lamp, which no bulb, so you'll never have to change that. It's really nice. It'll last a long time, it says. And then the diffuser box that I got lucky and found at Best Buy for 20 bucks as well. And these are things that you can order online. Put all the links down in the description below, but if you just walk into a Walmart, you can find this in the lamp section. And if you walk into Best Buy, you can find this in the camera section, and you can have your light today. Be careful when ripping it a little bit, because you don't want to rip it too much to where light's starting to expose from the back. You want to just keep trying it, rip it a little bit, put it on a little bit, rip it a little bit till it's like perfectly enough to fit around that thing, and then use the Velcro to keep it tight. Like I said, it's an LED light, so it will not heat up. It does heat up a little bit. I've used it for probably an hour once, and it was just a little warm, but nothing to like be scared about. I just wouldn't leave it on overnight or like leave the house with it on, because I don't know, I haven't tested it that long to see how much heat this actually radiates. But I think an hour long is probably its max radiation, and it was not radiating pretty hot. So yeah, when it comes down to it, this is my favorite lighting rig that I think anybody should have. It's so professional looking and feeling, but it's, you know, created by you. You know, you're gonna put the pieces together and you're gonna feel really good about it, and you're gonna have a great video with great lights. But if you don't want to do that and you have some LED strips in a pan, you know, you can always wrap that around and put a little white shirt or like a diffuser sheet, something like that, over that, and use that as well. Worst case, use the sun or use any light that you have around the house, because it's all about just really getting that nice soft look in your face with having like a cool background, just to make your videos have a little bit more aesthetic or to look a little bit cleaner. Because if you have that light right in front of your eyes, your videos look so good, so clean, even shot on an iPhone. But I didn't want to make this video too long, and I want you to go out there and try that today. So if you want, click the links down below. They're not affiliate links. I won't be paid or anything. I just want to help everybody out, because I know when I was searching high and low for all this, I was freaking out. I even almost spent like a few $100 on just like little square lights that I would probably just set up around, that I'm sure would have been great. They had little like plastic things you can put over them to kind of diffuse them a little bit. But I'm glad I found this, and this is probably going to be my main light for a while until I make enough money to have a bigger one. But I even think that having the bigger ones, doing something like this, a talking head video where I'm just explaining things, or my daily videos, this is probably just going to be my main light source, because it's right here. Like I said, no setup, it's just always there. I flick it on, flick it off, and I'm good to go. I hope this video helped you out, and I hope that your next videos are lit to perfection. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you like daily motivational videos, I post Monday through Friday. If that sounds like something you like, definitely smash that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow.